Hi students, welcome to the digital class. Today as a part of the digital class, I am taking 10th class of social studies. So here you people know that we celebrate few of the national festivals. In that one of the important one is the 26th January, which we are calling it as the Republic Day. So why we are celebrating this Republic Day? That one it is nothing but the Constitution of India came into the force. That is what we are celebrating this 26th January as a Republic Day. So as a part of this Constitution, in the 8th class already you have studied some of the basic things. Now let us see what is there in this class. The Constitution of any country provides a certain basic structure and principles according to its state would function and future of the nation would be decided. Constitution has a double purpose. The first one, outlining the role and rights of citizens as well as defining the structure and power of the government and its organs like executive, legislature, judiciary, etc. And the second purpose is indicating the nature of future society which has to be built by the joint efforts of the state and the society. Here let us see what you are going to learn from this lesson. Student can explain the term Constitution, explains the composition and establishment of Constituent Assembly, express the need of debates in the formation of Constitution, appreciate the Constituent Assembly in making of Indian Constitution, explain the role of drafting committees in the preparation of Indian Constitution. Why we need a Constitution? That one, when we see that one, we need a Constitution to provide a set of basic rules to follow minimal coordination among the members of a society. Means here, to run the government or to run the society, we need some basic rules. So for that purpose, there is a need of a Constitution. We need a Constitution to specify how the government would be constituted and who has power to make decisions in the society, to lay some limitations on the government, power by guaranteeing rights to the citizens. Now let us see about the history of this Constitution. The Cabinet Mission, which came to India in 1946, which aimed to transfer the power. Means up to that time the British is ruling with the help of British Parliament, and that one wanted to transfer the power from the British Parliament to the Indian people. So for that purpose, the visit of Cabinet Mission we can see. This is the Cabinet Mission which visited India in 1946. As the British government chose to offer opportunity to the individuals of India, another constitution was required through which the individuals of India could run themselves and set a long haul destinations for themselves. The Constitution of India was prepared and adopted by the Constituent Assembly. This is the symbol of the Constituent Assembly. A Constituent Assembly was formed in 1946. The Cabinet Mission appointed in 1946 allotted seats to each province and each princely states or group of states. Here province means now the states what we are calling, at that time that one called as a provinces, like a central province, western province, like that it was there. And the princely states are the independent states ruled by the kings. We can see the example like Hyderabad, Mysore, Jammu and Kashmir, Indore. These all the not ruled by the British, they are ruled by the kings. The seats in each province had members from the major communities in India. Hindus, Muslims, Sikh and Christians and all the other communities are there in proportion to their respective populations. This is the Constituent Assembly. We can see here. Accordingly, provinces or areas under direct British rule elected 292 members and all princely states together elected 93 members. So here we can see the Constituent Assembly. The Indian National Congress was the single largest party with 69% in the Constituent Assembly. Means at that time, whatever the provinces are there, in that one, the power is with the Congress party. So that is what the members from this party is more in this Constituent Assembly. The council also ensured that 26 members from scheduled caste are represented in the assembly. In all, it had only 9 women members. Means here we can see very less representation from the women. We can see from the southern India, we can see these are the prominent persons: Sarojini Naidu, Durgabai Deshmukh, N.G. Ranga and T. Prakasham. These are from the southern part of the country who are the members of this Constituent Assembly. We have totally 389 members. In that one, as already I said, that Congress is the dominated one in this one. The 389 members of the Constituent Assembly formed many committees to examine in detail all the issues relating to the country. The country was partitioned as India and Pakistan on 14th August of 1947. This is the India before 1947. As we can see, what are the Pakistan now present, when we see the map of India, it is different we can see. So this is the map before 1947. Here after the partition we can see this India. You see this, whatever the green colored one it is there, that one it is separated as a Pakistan, and as well as here the Bangladesh. Bangladesh also at that time it was a part of the Pakistan. So this is also separated from India it is. In middle we can see this is the Hyderabad states. That is what we called this one as a princely state it is. So the members from Pakistan formed a separate Constituent Assembly for the Pakistan. Why? Because of technically they are separated from the country. So they formed the separate Constituent Assembly. And in the committees, whatever that when it is formed in the Constituent Assembly, drafting committee is one of the important committee. Drafting committee was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of one of the most important committees. That one it is a drafting committee. The draft constitution has been before the public for 8 months to express their views on draft. The constitution was finally adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 26th November 1949. This day now we are celebrating as a Constitution Day. Here the draft constitution has been before the public for 8 months, means the common people also can give the suggestions on the constitution. On this, what are the draft that when it is prepared, on that one they can give the suggestions. So that is what it was placed before the public for about the period of 8 months. This is the presentation of the final draft of the Indian Constitution. At that time, the president of the Constituent Assembly was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. To him, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is presenting the draft constitution. So the constitution came into force on 26th January 1950. This day we are celebrating as Republic Day. Now let us see the important of the constitution, that is a preamble. Preamble is an introduction to the constitution. What is there in the constitution we can see in this one. Here this is the preamble of the Indian Constitution. It is we the people of India having solemnly presented to the Constitution of India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure all its citizens. Preamble, what are the constitution it is there, that one it is written by the total Indians, means nothing but here it is our representatives, they wrote this one. Now in the same example we can see Nepal interim constitution, preamble 2007. Here in the Nepal, the monarchy is there. So afterwards that one it is changed into the democracy, and with the help of the parties they formed the constitution, but still that one it is not settled because of the disunity among the parties and as well as the people. We can see the example of the Japan constitution. Now in the constitution, simply whatever the constitution is not accepted by the members, it is a lot of debates took place in this one. So that is what here reading the Constituent Assembly debates is an important session in this one. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar presented the draft of the constitution before the Constituent Assembly in 1948. These are recorded in the proceedings of Constituent Assembly of India. Means here the members discussions that one took place, that one has been recorded, which we are calling it as a proceedings. That one has been recorded in this Constituent Assembly. Thursday, the 4th November 1948, draft constitution. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who presented this one, according to him, the Honorable Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Mr. President, sir, I introduce the draft constitution as settled by the drafting committee and move that it to be taken into consideration. Means here Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, with the permission of the President of the Constituent Assembly, he presented this draft constitution. The drafting committee was in effect charged with the duty of preparing a constitution in accordance with the decisions of the Constituent Assembly on the reports made by the various committees appointed by it, such as we can see different committees are there. The Union Powers Committee, the Union Constitution Committee, the Provincial Committee, and the Advisory Committee on Fundamental Rights, Minorities, Tribal Areas. Like this one, we can see many committees are there. Means here few members formed as a committee and they studied about different constitutions about given to them, like Union Powers, like Union Constitution Committee, and they prepared according to that one the rules of that committee. The draft constitution is a formidable document. It contains 395 articles and 8 schedules. The draft constitution has been before the public for 8 months to express their views on the draft. And according to the constitution, we have chosen the parliamentary system. This parliamentary system we have adopted from the British constitution, because of the British also having the parliamentary type of the system it is there. And here the different one, if we see that one, it is an American form of the government, which we are calling it as a presidential system of the government it is there. Here the White House we can see here. So they are having the presidential system it is there. If we see the differences of this one, under the presidential system of America, the president is the chief head of the executive. The same in India, president is the head of the state, but not the executive. We can see the some differences here. The presidential system, the executive is the completely separated from the legislature. Means here there is no relation between the executive and the legislature. But here it is in the parliamentary system, the executive is not separated from the legislature. It is a both are together, executive and legislature. These two are together. In the presidential system, the members of executive are not the members of legislature. Means here the ministers are there. They are not the members of the legislature. But the same in the parliamentary system, the members of the council of ministers are the members of the legislature. Means here the difference is, in presidential system, even though he is not the member of the legislature, he can become the minister. But in India it is not like that one. If he is the member of the parliament, then only, means if he is the member of the legislature, then only he can become the minister. The another difference we can see here, the President of United States is not bound to accept any advice tendered to him by any of his secretaries. Means here he can reject. President of USA, if any advice is given by the secretaries, secretary means here it is nothing but the ministers, that one can be, he can reject. But the same thing in the parliamentary system of India, the President of Indian Union will be generally bound by the advice of his ministers. Means here he has to accept whatever the suggestions it is given by the ministers. The one another difference we can see here, the President of the United States can dismiss any secretary at any time. Means he can remove, President can remove the secretaries. But in the parliamentary system, the President of Indian Union has no power to do so long as his ministers command a majority in parliament. Means in the parliament, if the majority is there, President cannot remove very easily. Now let us see one another feature of the Indian Constitution, that one we are calling it as a federalism. So federalism, if we take historically, there are two forms of governments. That one it is a unitary and federal governments it is there. A unitary state is where only one government has a sovereign power. Means if we see here, the total it is only one government will be there. There will be no separate governments are there in this one. Only one central government will be there, and that one will be ruling total country. Whereas in the other side, if we see, the federal state is where sovereignty is shared between relatively sovereign state governments it is. You can see here, central government is there, state government is there, and local self-government it is there. These three has to work with a cooperation. That is what we are calling it as a federal state, a cooperative federalism, what it is called as. Here, if you see the differences of these two, the unitary government. Now, in the practice, we can see in Sri Lanka, we have this one, France, Italy, Japan, there are the unitary governments are there. And federal government, if we see India, USA, Canada, Australia, we can see this type of the governments. The supremacy of the central government is there in the unitary government. Why? Because of here it is only one government is there. That is a central government. So that is what supremacy of the central government will be there. But on the other hand, if we see the federal government, the central government share its powers with the various constituent units of the country. Means here various units means like state government and local self-governments also is there. The absence of subsidiary sovereign governments are there in the unitary government. There is no other governments, no state government, no local governments it is. But where here it is in the federal government, we can see the central government and other subsidiary government side by side. Means here state is working and as well as the central government is working, and in the same way local gram panchayats also working. The existing of a central government and subsidiary government side by side means here if you see this India map, we have the parliament for the whole country, and at the same time our country is divided into the states, and every state is having its own government. So this is the decentralization, what we call it as. Here it is at the center we have the parliament, and at the state we have the assemblies. This is the USA, the dual government policy. We adopted that one, it is from the American Constitution. Because of America, we are calling it as a USA, United States of America. Number of states are there in that one. So like that one, in the according to the American Constitution, what is there, we have taken from them this, what are the federalism. Indian Constitution is a dual polity with a single citizenship, only Indian citizenship, no state-wise citizenship is given. Means here in India, if we see, totally we call as a Indian only. No separate citizenship is given to the different states. Whoever may be in the country, whatever the state it is there, but the citizenship is only the single one. But the same thing if we see the American Constitution, America is having the dual citizenship. One is for the total country it is there, and one is for the different states it is there. But we are following the single citizenship it is there. Here we can see, for the example of this single citizenship, as you people every day in the school, you have the pledge that when it is India is my country, all Indians are my brothers and sisters. So wherever you go in within the country, whether it is in the Tamil Nadu, whether it is in the northeastern, or whether it is you go to the Jammu and Kashmir, everywhere the same type of the pledge you will see. This is the symbol of the single citizenship, means wherever you go, you are the Indian only. We don't have any separate state citizenship, it is not there. And one another feature of the single citizenship or the federalism, we can see that it is an integrated judicial system, uniform in the fundamental rights and laws. Common civil services is the main feature of Indian Constitution. The high courts and the supreme courts are from one single integrated judiciary having the jurisdiction. Here we can see the integrated judicial system it is. Whatever the law that when it is followed by the Supreme Court, the same law is there in the High Court and the same has to be followed by the district courts. Means whatever the law that when it is there, not separated, means the district courts are having separate law and the state court is having the separate law and the Supreme Court separate law, it is not there. We have the only one law that when it is there, as per the Indian Constitution, whole country is having the same type of the integrated judicial system. Whatever the as a part of the federalism, as I said that when it is we have divided into state and central, means that the whole country we have the central government and we are divided politically into many states and each state is having the state government. So here the powers are divided. What are the powers are divided as a central list and as well as the state list, and some powers are given the, as we call it as a concurrent list. But in this concurrent list we can see that what are the domination of the central government we can see in this one. Let us see this, what are the central list that it is there. Defense, armed forces, arms and ammunition, atomic energy, foreign affairs, war and peace, citizenship, railways. These are in the central list. Means whatever the rules and regulations, whatever the law that when it is there related to the central list, only central government is having the authority to prepare on that one. And the budget and everything will be by the central government only for these, what are the list it is there. And we have the next, the state list. State list, healthcare, transport, land policies, electricity in the state, village administration, these all given to the state government. And in the common one, we have the concurrent list. Marriage and divorce, transfer of property other than agriculture land, education. Like this one, a few of the things are there which is in the concurrent list. Means here state government can do the law on that one, but whereas that one should be accepted by the central government, it is. So like that one, even the central government can do that one, but state government has to accept that one. So like this one, few are there in the concurrent list. In all the federations, there is a federal civil services and a state civil service. The All India services comprises civil services of India, namely the Indian Administrative Services IAS, the Indian Forest Services IFS, and Indian Police Services IPS. Means generally the collectors we see IAS officers, they related to the All India services, means they will work in the central government and as well as the state government also. Why? Because of here total whatever the law is same, the ruling method is same. So that is what we call this one as a All India services. A common unique features of All India services is that members of these services are recruited by the center. Generally this one is done by the UPSC, Union Public Service Commission, IAS, and they will conduct the examinations, IAS and IPS. So it is done by the central government, but their services are placed under the various states. As we have the collectors, they are whatever the appointment is by the central one, but they are working in the state. So like this one, we have the federal system, it is. This is the one of the feature of the federal system, it is. So children, refer the total textbook, it is there, and some of the assessment as a part of this lesson. Explain the need of various committees in the Constituent Assembly, differentiate parliamentary system and the president system, comment on single citizenship in India, explain why does a democratic country need a constitution, explain the process of formation of Constituent Assembly, mention few princely states during British rule. For the better understanding of the concepts, solve the worksheets provided by the SCRT. Please visit official website of SCRT for worksheets. Okay students, with this one we come to end of part of this lesson. We will meet with the next part the next time.
నమస్తే, వెల్కమ్ టు TSAT మన చట్టాలు ఏం చెప్తున్నాయి. ఈరోజు మనం తీసుకున్న టాపిక్ వచ్చి ఎన్ఐ యాక్ట్. మరి ఎన్ఐ యాక్ట్ గురించి కంప్లీట్ డీటెయిల్స్ మీకు అందించడానికి మనతో ఉన్నారు రాపోల్ భాస్కర్ గారు, సీనియర్ అడ్వకేట్, హైకోర్టు నుంచి. వారిని పరిచయం చేసుకుందాం. నమస్తే అండి.
నమస్కారం.
ఎన్ఐ యాక్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి?
నెగోషియబుల్ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ యాక్ట్ 1881 అనేటటువంటి పేరుతో పిలుస్తారండి. ప్రత్యేకంగా గతంలో బ్రిటిష్ వాళ్ళు మన భారతదేశాన్ని పరిపాలించేటప్పుడు ఈ చట్టం తయారు చేయబడ్డది. ప్రత్యేకంగా ఒక వ్యక్తి డబ్బులు ఇవ్వడం కోసం ఇచ్చేటటువంటి చెక్ ఏదైతుందో అది బౌన్స్ అయితే ఈ నెగోషియబుల్ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ యాక్ట్ 1881 ప్రకారంగా ఎవరైతే ఇచ్చి డబ్బులు లేకుండా, తన అకౌంట్లో డబ్బులు లేకుండా చెక్ ఇచ్చి మోసం చేస్తాడో అలాంటి వ్యక్తుల మీద సెక్షన్ 138 ఎన్ఐ యాక్ట్, సెక్షన్ 142 అనేటటువంటి ఈ రెండు సెక్షన్ల కింద ఎవరైతే ఇచ్చి మోసం చేస్తారో ఆ వ్యక్తి మీద చర్యలు తీసుకునేటటువంటి నిమిత్తమే ఇవి నెగోషియబుల్ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ యాక్ట్ అనేటటువంటిది తయారు చేయబడింది.
ఓకే, చెక్ బౌన్స్ అంటే ఏంటో కూడా ఒకసారి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తారా?
ఈ మధ్యకాలంలో లిటిగేషన్ అంటూ ఉంది అని అంటే అది ఎన్ఐ యాక్ట్ కేసులు అంటారండి. ప్రత్యేకంగా ఏ కోర్టులో చూసినా, ఏ అడ్వకేట్ల దగ్గర చూసినా చాలామంది కోర్టుకు వచ్చేటటువంటి వ్యక్తులను అడిగితే ఏం కేసు ఉందని అంటే ఫస్ట్ 30 నుంచి 40% మంది ఎన్ఐ యాక్ట్ కేసులలో కోర్టులకు వస్తున్నటువంటి పరిస్థితి ఉంది. అయితే కేసులు వేయబడిన వ్యక్తి కానీ లేదు కేసులు ఎవరి మీద అయితే వేయబడినటువంటి వ్యక్తుల వేసిన వాళ్ళు వేయబడిన వాళ్ళు ఇద్దరు మాత్రమే కోర్టులకు ఎక్కువ రావడం అనేది జరుగుతుంది. దీనికి ప్రధానమైనటువంటి కారణం ఏంటంటే అవసరాల కోసం ప్రజలు అవతల వ్యక్తి దగ్గరికి పోయి అవసరం ఇల్లు కొనుక్కున్నప్పుడు లేదు ఫ్లాట్లు కొన్నప్పుడు లేదు ఇతర పిల్లలకో లేకపోతే ఇంకా రకరకాల ఫైనాన్షియల్ అవసరాల కోసం ప్రైవేట్ వ్యక్తుల దగ్గరికి, ఫైనాన్స్ ఆఫీసుల దగ్గరికి లేదు బ్యాంకుల దగ్గరికి ప్రజలందరూ కూడా అప్పుల కోసం, రుణాల కోసం, చేపదుల కోసం పోవడం అనేది జరుగుతాం. ఇట్లా పోతున్నటువంటి క్రమంలో గతంలోనేమో ఈ చట్టం అవగాహన లేకపోయినప్పుడు కేవలం ఒక ప్రామిసరీ నోట్ రాసుకొని అప్పు ఇచ్చేటటువంటి వ్యక్తి ప్రామిసరీ నోట్ రాసుకొని సంతకాలు పెట్టించుకొని డబ్బులు ఇచ్చి వెలగొట్టడం అనేది జరిగేది. కానీ ఈ మధ్య గత 10 సంవత్సరాల కాలం నుంచి అప్పులు ఇవ్వబడేటటువంటి వ్యక్తి తీసుకునేటటువంటి వ్యక్తి దగ్గర ఖచ్చితంగా ప్రామిసరీ నోట్ తీసుకుంటుండు, లేదు అగ్రిమెంట్ తీసుకుంటుండు, లేదు మెమోరాండం ఆఫ్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ తీసుకొని దాంతోపాటు దానికి అదనంగా చెక్కులు కొలాటరల్ సెక్యూరిటీ కింద చెక్కులు